Good afternoon, happy Tuesday, and welcome to Coffee and a Card. So I am Holly with Handcrafted Blessings, and always look forward to being with you on Tuesday afternoons as we take a look at the happy meal that's come in, we make a project, and we generally just have a great time. So welcome, I'm glad you're here. So today I'm going to show you a bundle that I haven't used yet. So it's out of the annual catalog. And I also have a couple of tips that we're going to work into this video as well. So jammed packed with a lot of fun today. So welcome everyone as you're coming in here today. So of course I will start with happy mail, and this is what I call it when y'all send me cards, because well, it makes me happy to receive them as well as to show them off to you guys. So we'll start there. We've got one from Candace Regensburg. And, oh, she's using the same designer series paper that I am today. So this is that Masterfully made designer series paper. And I'll be featuring that too in my cards. And I love the way she's layered it there with the, I think that's bubble bath. So, and then she's got the flowers again on the inside of her card. And she also stamped the flower on the back flap of her envelope. So it all ties together really nicely. All right, this next one is from Vesta Streeb from Colorado. We've got a beautiful pinwheel card. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. Oh wait, I'm holding it wrong. Here we go. It's a bookbinding card. So her message is there. All of a sudden I realized I was holding it wrong. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that, you guys. So beautiful with that pinwheel card. That's really cool, Vesta. Next one is from Kim Glover, and I usually open the envelopes before I come on live, and today I just spaced. All right, I can get it open. Okay, here we go. It says, life is like an ice cream. Enjoy it before it melts. That's cute. So, I'm sorry, this is not Kim, this is Madeline. This is from Madeline. And so it opens, oh wait, hold on. No, it opens down. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to hold these on live and figure out how the folds work. Look at that, so I'll hold it back. And it says, trust the magic of new beginnings. That's super cute. And she's got her note there on the back. That's such a fun fold. I love the way it goes down. And it's like the melting ice cream heading down the side of your the side of your cup. Okay. We've got one from, this is from Holly Paulson in South Dakota. And it says there, here, let me move her post-it note from the inside here so you can get the full effect. So using the Hey Chuck stamp set, isn't that so cute? Look at that. Rise and shine. And then it says, this is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Psalm 118. Oh my gosh. That is such an adorable Hey Chuck card. I love it. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for the happy mail. I love showing off what you're working on. It's so much fun. Okay, we are going to use, like I said, a bundle new to me. It's been on my shelf for a little bit, but I haven't used it yet. So we're going to be doing that using Darling Details. So Darling Details is this bundle right here. And it comes with a set of dies. And there's also this lovely stamp set here that we will incorporate into our card. So let me move this a little bit. Sorry for the wiggling. There we go. Okay, so we've got Darling Details, and we have a variety of themes here that you can use. And then we've got the dies, and I have to pull these out because there's actually 2 sheets of dies. So you have these beautiful frame dies, and then you've got the border, and then you can cut out these flowers that are on the stamp set as well. So lots of options for these dies, and I thought I would incorporate them into the card that we're making today. Okay, so the other dies that I'm going to use today are called the Nested Essentials dies. Oh, here we go. And I wanted to show you something I do with a lot of my, I call these like basic shapes dies. And I tend to use them a lot because I love making various labels for cards. And so I know I'm going to use them a lot. And taking them on and off these sticky sheets, they start to end up like this one, which is barely stuck on here. And so they end up loose in the bottom of my, of the holder. So what I like to do is I like to take a magnet sheet and I just take these dies off and I transfer them to the magnet sheet. Now you can get magnet sheets. The cheapest I find is on Amazon. So you can buy magnetic vent covers and put your dies on those. You can just cut them to the size that you need. And it's just a really quick and easy way to honestly stabilize your dies. I've also seen some people take these magnet sheets and they put them on the wall in their craft room. And then they stick their dies, especially nested ones. They look really cool. It's actually great decoration for your craft room. So then I just stick these all in here and I just throw away this taped sheet. So I just wanted to show you that because then this will go right back here in my, in the embossing holder. Embossing folder. Oh my goodness. Dies. Y'all, these are dies. So it'll fit right back in the folder is the point. So I'm going to use these today, so I'm not going to stick them away right now. So let me show you the card we're going to make today. So I'm going to pull in the Masterfully made designer series paper. And we've also got the exposed brick designer, sorry, oh my gosh. You guys, where are my words? This is not designer series paper. Oh my gosh, maybe I need more coffee. Yeah, I don't know. This is the exposed brick embossing folder. Okay? We got it together now. So let me show you the Masterfully made paper in case you haven't seen it. It's 12 by 12 and it's absolutely stunning. This swatch book actually does not do it justice. I should have grabbed the 12 by 12 sheets for you. But it has a lot of torn paper look to it, like you can see on this one, how the paper is torn. And if we turn it over, we've got more of that, you can see the torn paper here. And then it has a pretty stunning collection of coordinating colors. So let me just stick these all out here because there's a lot of coordinating colors to this set. And there we go. I think we got it. Wait, Lemon Lolly's hiding one. There we go. So look at all of those coordinating colors for, there's a long list of coordinating colors. So lots of things are featured in here. And the fun part about that is it means that you can match these with so many different things. So they'll work on a lot of different cardstocks. Okay, so let's start with our Pretty Peacock card base. So Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon is going to be our color combination today. So we'll start with our Pretty Peacock card base. Yes, Jean says some days words are hard. True story. Apparently today is that day for me. And I say I should have more coffee, but the truth is I haven't had any today. So maybe I just need to have my first cup. Okay, so we're going to score this at 4 1/4. What I call my standard card base. However, I'm also going to show you what it looks like with a different size card base, but we'll get to that at the end. So this is 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and I have scored it at 4 1/4. Okay, then we're going to take a piece of Lost Lagoon, and we're going to cut this to 4 by 5 1/4. So 4 by 5 1/4. And then we'll cut our designer series paper at 2 by 5. So I'm going to cut it down to 2 inches, and I'm kind of looking to see what flowers I have. I kind of like this one, so I'm going to try to keep that one. This is just a scrap I had in the package of paper. Okay, and now I need to cut it to 5 inches. And again, I want to kind of be mindful of how much I want to cut off of different areas. I really like these yellow flowers. I kind of don't want to lose them. So I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and cut to 5 off the top. On the sample that I made, I actually cut a little bit off top and bottom just because of how I liked the flower placement. So you can kind of move your paper around to make it work like you'd like. Okay, so we'll start with our Lost Lagoon. And we're going to use the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. So I'm going to take that and grab our Big Boss machine here. And it's a 3D embossing folder, which means I got to have the correct sandwich. So I'm going to try to move this over a little bit. So I have my, my base, number 1. And then it shows me here, using with 3D embossing folders, I need the 1 and the 4. So I have my 4 plate here. So I take my piece of paper, and what's really nice is there is this line here on each side of the logo, and I just realized I'm not fully on, here we go. There's this nice line, and because I want my brick wall to be straight, I'm gonna line up my cardstock with that line, okay? So now I've got that lined up with that line. We're going to put it in spine first. So the opening is over here. And that's important because you want even pressure on this embossing folder so it doesn't break. So we always want to go spine first. So I'm just going to crank that through. And we'll take out the embossing folder and I'll just set this down. So now we have this gorgeous piece of exposed brick Lost Lagoon paper. And I can take that and I can take my card base and adhesive, and we're just going to tape this down. Now on 3D embossed pieces, I like to put tape all the way around because I don't want puckers sticking up on my on my mat. So that's why you see me putting extra tape on all 4. Because you can see here when I lay this down, let's say that I did not have tape on all 4 sides, okay? Where you don't have tape, it's likely to stick up. Because this sheet is so well embossed with a 3D folder, and so that's why I do tape on all 4 sides so that it stays nice and flat. Then we'll take our designer series paper and we'll add that to the front of our card as well. So we got that. Okay, so let me move this stuff out of the way so we can do our next step. So I'm going to move this over. I'm going to grab those nested essentials dies, and we're going to take the 2 biggest sizes of this tag. We're going to grab a scrap of Lost Lagoon and a piece of this designer series paper. Now, since my big machine was set up for embossing, I went ahead and grabbed my small machine to do the die cutting, just to make it quicker, so I didn't have to change my sandwich right now. So we'll use our mini machine, and I'll put the designer series paper down, and I will take the larger flag tag, put that between our plates, and we'll crank this through. And then we'll put the Lost Lagoon piece with the smaller flag, banner if you want, banner die. And we'll stick that through as well. And we'll keep this machine close by because we are going to do one more die cutting, but first we have to stamp. So now I will take a piece of Pretty Peak. Oh, I should take these out so you can see them. So we've got our stitched banners, which are just going to fit perfectly on top of each other. Okay?
I couldn't find that in your...
Oh, Siri is listening in on my watch and trying to talk to us while we do this. So now I can just pop these on here, and I have my dies back in place. Okay, so we're going to take our stamps, and we are going to do some stamping. So first, I'm going to use Lost Lagoon, and I am going to stamp this large flower on the Pretty Peacock. And then I'm also, you're going to see it takes on a pretty dark quality. And then I'm going to do this outline, or filler stamp, also in Lost Lagoon, on my card insert. Like that. Okay? So now I'll switch over to Pretty Peacock. And what's helpful with these stamps is that they are photopolymer, which means they're see-through. So I can ink up my outline stamp, see through it to line it up with the Lost Lagoon image. So then I'll take my larger one. Now with this one, I need to find the right spot to line it up. I have found with this one, what I kind of look for is where is like a unique spot where it'll be easy to find it on here so that I can stamp. Well, I see these two right here that have the little kind of dips in them, and I can see on my stamp really easily there's two spots where those line up. Oh, and I just stuck my finger in the ink pad. Just a second. Okay. Tip of the day, don't put your finger in the ink pad. All right, so I'm going to line up those two places, and I can go down with my stamp. Then I'm going to take Happy Birthday, and we're going to stamp that here in the middle of our Lost Lagoon tag. Okay? So we'll close this up before we die cut. So I'll move these aside, and we'll take this one. And now we'll go back to our, Darling Details dies. And I'm going to take my flower die cut. And once again, I'm going to have to set it here and look for, because of the shape, because it's kind of a ovalish flower, I know there's only two ways it can go. It can go this way, which obviously does not line up with my flower. It can't go, it's way too tall, okay? So I turn it around, and I can see right there, that's where it's gonna go, okay? So we're gonna grab our mini machine. Now, you could also fussy cut this if you wanted to. You can use washi tape or a Post-it note to hold this die in place. I go straight down with this top plate, and I watch as I do it to make sure my die doesn't move. And then I hold pressure with my thumb as I start cranking it through the machine until it catches. And then I'm able to let go with my right hand and just crank it through with my left. Okay. Excuse me. We'll take this. So we've got our flower. And I always like to stick these back on here. You can also have an extra magnet sheet sitting next to you on your craft desk. And as you die cut, you could just stick your dies onto that magnet sheet, and then you could put them all away at the end. Or a magnet bowl I've seen some people have those, but just a good way to not lose your dies as you're going. All right, so we'll bring back our card and we're going to flip over to the inside. And I'll put this guy on the inside. Okay, so we'll close that and use our bone folder. Oh, I see somebody says they use a magnetic bowl. Here we go. Oh, you know what? I need a better crease on here because it's opening up too much for my liking. All right, so there we go. So now we'll first take our Designer Series paper tag. And we'll put this wherever you'd like to have it. I am going to go about right here. Then I'll take my happy birthday and we'll dimensionalize. Gotta have a little pop-up effect on this card. Stick that there. Whoops. There we go. Okay, and then this one we're going to part dimensionalize, part adhere. So I'm going to stick it right here. This is where it's going to go. Okay, this section right here where I'm pointing is on this piece that's already dimensionalized. So I don't want to add dimensionals there because then I have two layers of dimensionals on this section and I would only have one here. So instead I'm going to add tape to the bottom of my flower and dimensionalize the top. So the easiest way I find to do this, you're going to just flip it over exactly where you want it to be. And now I can easily see where I need to add tape. And I can also see where I need to add dimensionals. So we'll take that here. Now I can just flip it back over and know that my tape and my dimensionals are in the spot where I want them to be. Now, my card wouldn't be complete unless we added some embellishments. So I am going to use let me take these out here. These are the ombre matte decorative dots, okay? They do come adhered on this white piece. I've just cut mine apart because I find it easier to be able to pick one color and kind of decide, okay, do I like that color? Do I want this color? So I just cut them apart and keep them in my case that way. I'm going to take your pick tool and we're going to use the putty to pick up some of those smallest dots, and I'm going to add 3 of them here in the middle of my flower. You know, as I was making this card just now, so this is exactly how I made my sample, but I had a thought as I was making this here on live that we also have brushed brass butterflies, and they go so well when you're making flower cards because butterflies love flowers. So what if I also put a flower a butterfly or two in the flowers? So I think that's kind of a fun extra effect. So there we go, we have our birthday card. Now, if you prefer, this is the way that this size cardstock is what I would call my standard card. It's my go-to size, 5.5 by 8.5, to make my card base. But I know some people really like to cut their cardstock the other direction. So this would be oh, that's funny. Well, on my video, you can see that I didn't know I did this backwards. So, oh my gosh, that's hilarious. So this cardstock is cut 4 1/4 by 11, and my white is on the wrong panel. So, I'm sorry, I am deeply amused by this, because clearly I did not check that placement before I showed you this card. Okay, sorry, I'm very amused right now. So anyways, you can make this card either way, okay? And I'm I like seeing all the laughing faces. So I'm here to tell you guys, I mess up on stamping all the time, okay? Like making these samples for a live video, sometimes I should just save all of the messed up tags and these. Because if I had seen it, I would have fixed it before the video, but I didn't see it, y'all. I just Oh, Cindy says you're not alone. I do it too. So yeah, I think we've all done it before. I'm cracking up. That's wonderful. We're all human and this is a live video. So, all right, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in for Coffee and a Card today. I hope you enjoyed today's card. You can always find measurements and directions on my blog and on my YouTube channel, as well as this replay will be posted shortly. So thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to encourage one another and build each other up. I'll see you soon.